Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got another EDC flashlight to take a look at. This is from a company I've never worked with before. It's Boruit, and this model is the EV10. This light is very small. You could probably put it on a keychain, but it has really good performance numbers. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over the user interface. I'll give you guys some beam shots and then give some thoughts on it. So this is available on Amazon. I just removed those stickers so you can get a better look at the front of the box here. Again, we have 1100 lumens of total output. Looks like we have some custom side lights, a clip. It's got a magnetic base, Type-C charging, IP66 waterproof rating. There's some more specs on it. But let's get it out of the box here. Let's see what all comes with it. So we're going to have a manual. Show you that in a minute. Looks like we have USB A to C charging cable. Some type of lanyard. And then the light itself. There's also the key ring. I will quickly show you the manual. You're welcome to pause and read any of it. I always like showing the manual in case you purchase this light and then lose your manual. You can always come back to this video for reference. So here is the EV10. Pretty much the entire flashlight is made out of some type of aluminum alloy. The buttons here are some type of rubber, and then that USB-C charging port, the little cover there, is some type of rubber, but everything else is a metal on it. A couple different LEDs up here. Nice pocket clip, very sturdy, and then we're going to have the side light as well. This light has a 2-meter drop rating and is IP66 waterproof rated. Grab you guys some dimensions and then a weight. We're looking at 2.67 inches in length. Our width 1.38, and the depth or thickness of it 0.60. And for comparison, it's about the same size, maybe even a little bit smaller than my Jeep key fob. And on a dollar bill, it's about the exact same height as it, and you could probably put at least 4 of these across the dollar. Weight in ounces, we're looking at 2.2 ounces, and that is with that built-in battery, which is 1,000 milliamp hours. So like I mentioned earlier, there's 2 different LEDs in here. You're going to basically have like a spotlight and then also a floodlight. You can see this one has a different type of lens up on it, and then the reflector on this one's much deeper. So the user interface is pretty simple on this light. This button here is going to control our LEDs up top. The button here is going to control the side light. You do have to press and hold to turn it on, and it does have mode memory. So we're over here now on our spotlight first, and this is the highest setting, which is 550 lumens. I think that only goes for a couple minutes maybe, and then it's going to step down to 230 lumens, and then that'll go for about 3 hours. I don't know the exact beam distance or throw on this right here. It says that it has a total distance with all the lights on of like 100 meters. So I assume that this might be around that on the high setting. But to go to the next setting, then it's just a single press. So this is going to be our medium. Medium is 150 lumens. And that's going to go for about 6 hours or so. And then our final setting down here on low, again, it was just one more click. That low setting is 10 lumens, and that will run constant for 54 hours. So more than 2 straight days you could use that. And you basically just continue to push this to go over to the flood. So now we're going to have 550 lumens of floodlight. And then I get another press. So it'll take you to the medium on the floodlight. Same outputs basically as a spot. And then we have our 10 right there for the low. And then if you click it again, it goes right back to the spotlight. And again, the spot, you can definitely see that center hot spot right there versus the flood that doesn't really have that. I'll show you the mode memory. We're on the low setting on the flood side. So if I shut it off, I wait an hour, a day, a week, whatever, turn it back on, I'm still going to be on the low setting on the flood side. This light does also have a turbo feature where basically the spotlight and the floodlight both come on at the same time. You can get to that from being off or on. It's just a double tap of the button here kind of quick. And now you can see that both of those are on together. That is 1100 lumens. I'm not exactly sure how long that will run, but then it will step down to 450 lumens and go for a couple of hours. But yeah, this little teeny tiny light, 1100 lumens. And again, just to show you from on, so I'm in low on the flood side, I could still double click and get those to come on. The only thing that kind of stinks about this is that there's no way to go back to what you were on. If you're on turbo, you basically have to shut it off and then turn it back on. And the light does have a strobe feature as well, so if you're sensitive to that, look away for the next minute. Again, you can get it from off or on, just like the turbo, and this is a triple click. And you can see it's a pretty decent pattern. And same thing as the turbo, you cannot go to like the regular lights. So basically we have to shut it off and then turn it back on if we want just the regular lights. So this little side light has a ton of different options. So we can have just a constant white light. We can have a constant colored light. We can have a breathing colored light. They're calling it a streamline colored, drop flow colored, rainbow flowing, and then a warning light. And I know the manual says warm, but I think they mean warning light there. And so similar to the main switch, we're just going to press and hold to turn that on. And it's a pretty decent side light here. I'll try to show you guys this at night, but if we want to switch this, just a single tap will make it go lower. So just by single tapping, we're going to go high and low. And then double clicking this is going to take us to the next solid colors. And as you can see, we got red now, green, looks like a blue, that's an orange, some other lighter color of green, that's like a purple. I know the camera doesn't show all these really well. And then we're back to red. That looked to be probably, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 colors. And so a double click again should take us to the next one, which is that breathing. And as you can see, it just kind of fades away, then comes back. And I think you could do that in any of the colors that we were on before. I just happened to stop on red. Let me see if I can switch it right now. I might be able to. Yeah. So just a single click will switch your colors for you. So if you want it breathing and blue, just flip it over like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the next one was the streamline. So we're going to double click. And same thing here. I'm sure if we click, we're going to get a different color. So yeah, very cool on that. We're on like that purple right now. The next one is the drop flow. So again, we're going to double click to get the next one. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see what the different colors look like. And then we got a rainbow one coming up next. Double click. I know the camera makes this look like it's going like super fast. When you're looking at it off camera, it's actually just a real slow color change. And to get to the red and blue warning or flashing light, it's going to be a triple click. So again, if you're a little bit sensitive flashing light, you may want to look away, but triple click this one. So it looks like you got red, blue, both together, then both together again. So that's very cool. And kind of like the flashing on the ones up here, once you're in this warning, you can't get back to the one you were just on. You do have to shut it off and then turn it back on. So that is all of the modes of this little guy. I'm going to get this charged up, and then later we'll do some beam shots. As you can see, we kind of have a red light that's going through right now. I would assume that that means we're at least 50% charged from where we're at right there on that. It's not down here flashing up. And that, I believe, is going to turn a solid green once it's done charging. Alright, try to show you guys the EV10 inside. It's going to come on in the spotlight first. Again, there's our little green light when it first comes on. See, it is a fairly warm color temperature to it. We'll go to the medium next. And then the low. Now we'll switch over to the flood. Medium flood. Then low. Now we'll do the turbo, which is both of them combined. And finally the strobe, so if you were sensitive, look away. And now we'll go through the side light. Again, that is just the white on the high. That's white low. Camera doesn't pick it up as well, but this definitely is enough to light your path, light your way. We'll go through some of the different colors here. This is the breathing. And then some of the other modes. Again, we can switch any of those colors if we don't want that. Alright, try to show you the EV10 outside now. Again, we'll start off kind of in the high on the spot. I'm probably 60 feet from the road and about 80 feet from a line of trees. So let's cut it on here. Oh yeah, that lights things up really well. I know it says that it throws like 100 meters. That's actually pretty decent for a little keychain light. Like, I can see pretty far with this thing. We'll go to the medium next. And even that is a pretty decent throw to it. This will be the low. And I can make out the trees with my eyes. I know the camera has a hard time seeing that. Alright, we'll switch over to the flood next. Again, it'll be high flood. Very impressive. For a little keychain light, that's actually really good. Medium. Low. Again, this is flood low. Let's go to the turbo with everything combined. Well, hopefully seeing those nighttime beam shots was somewhat beneficial for you guys. I also wanted to show you what it looks like in a pocket. It's not a full deep carry. You know, you have, I don't know, maybe close to an inch or so sticking up out of there. And the EV10 is definitely small enough that you could put it in your coin or watch pocket over here. Also wanted to show you that you can easily attach it to the brim of a hat to be able to go hands-free, and it's very secure once it's on there. That clip holds really strong. And finally, I told you it has a magnetic base. It is actually a super strong magnet. Pretty much any flashlight can hold itself vertically, but when you put it horizontally, a lot of them, the weight of them will make them fall off. This is super secure, like it doesn't move at all. So you could attach this to the underside of your hood or on the side of your car, something like that. So I've had this little EV10 for about 3 weeks now, and I actually just got back from a 5-day camping trip where I was able to use this light quite a bit. And overall, I really like it. I think it's a great little EDC light. Has excellent build quality. It's pretty much all metal, so it makes it really rugged. You know, it's super small, you know, compact, you know, again, not much bigger than like the size of your thumb. It's lightweight. I think that it has really good performance. Again, when you consider the size, 1100 lumens. You got the spotlight, the floodlight, the side light. And that side light is really useful in the dark. Again, if you're in a tent or even, you know, outside, you could set this on a table, have that thing be on any color that you want, and it makes it really easy to find the light in the dark. I like that it has that magnetic base, and it is a very strong magnet in that. I also like that it has mode memory. I've been using the flood kind of medium, probably the most. And it's plenty of light for doing almost any task that I needed to do. And I also like that they added that battery level indicator so you kind of know where you're at every time you turn it on. A few cons to mention. First thing is that it does come with an internal battery, so you cannot service it, can't change it out. And speaking of that, it has a 1-year warranty. I would maybe like to see that, you know, 2 or 3 years. I kind of wish that the pocket clip was a little bit deeper, because again, you have at least that much sticking up out of your pocket. And the last thing that I kind of dislike is when you have the turbo on, there's no way to go back to the setting that you were at without having to shut the light completely off and then completely turn it back on to where you were. But again, overall, I think it's a fantastic little light and would definitely recommend it. So at the time of me recording this video, these are available on Amazon for around $33. In the whole 3 weeks that I've had it, there's been a 15% off coupon. So I think they're around $28 or so, which I honestly think is a great price because, I mean, yes, it's a very useful tool. You know, being able to go hands-free with the light, the magnet, the multiple flood and spot and everything else, but it's just a cool little gadget too. But if you guys are interested in learning more about this little EV10 or picking one up, I will leave that Amazon link down in the video description. But alright, if you guys found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.